political party state that the name of a party may not be correspondent or similar to that of an existing one. A party's principles, goals, platforms, policies, and/or methods of operations should not contradict the basic principles of the Constitution or the prerequisites of protecting Egypt's national security, national unity, social peace, or democratic system. In its principles, platforms, methods of operation, and choice of its leaderships and members, a party may neither be based on religion, class, sect, profession, or geography, nor be established on account of gender, language, religion, or creed. A party's methods of operation may not include the establishment of military or paramilitary formations. A party may not be a chapter, branch of a foreign party, or a political organization. A party's principles, goals, methods, organizations, and financing tools and sources shall be made public. The party's law also stated that party members should be Egyptian citizens. In case members are naturalized citizens, they should spend at least 5 years as such before they are allowed into a party. A party's founders and leaders should meet the requirement of having an Egyptian father. A written notification of the establishment of the parties shall be submitted to the Committee of Political Parties, and a list of names and signatures of 5,000 of its founding members should be attached. The signatures should be officially ratified. The said notification and documents shall be presented to the committee within 15 days of submission. Party founders or their representatives handling the establishment procedures shall publish the names of the founding members included in the notification. A party is considered approved 30 days after notification, barring committee objections. In the case that the committee objects to the establishment of a party, a decision is made to that effect, which is referred later for adjudication to the First Circuit of the Supreme Administrative Court within a period of more than 8 days.
Welcome back. And to take a closer look on this amended law, we have the pleasure to have with us Professor Hossam ElShazly. He is a professor of strategic planning and changing management at Cambridge University. Good morning.
Good morning.
And in the very beginning, let's take a look on the future, or how do you see the future of the political parties here in Egypt?
Generally speaking, I can say that I'm sure optimistic. After the revolution, everything shows that it will be very good. We have a chance really for democratic change. We can say that we are going into a complete, full version of democracy, and then things start to go other way. And especially after the new amendment, for the constitution, that we came with really many questions, and I think that the answer no one have, maybe only the Armed Forces Council. One of the main problems we are facing today is that we believe that this revolution made by young people for Egypt, started by young people and then followed by old people, and generally speaking, we have a problem with having those, corrupted, businessmen, and we have a very bad, experience with many things. So we found ourselves going again in the same direction. Then when you have a law that you must announce 5,000 names of your new party in 2 newspapers, and very known ones, this means that you have to pay nearly 400,000 Egyptian pounds only for this subject. And for a new party, away from the normal funding ways, the old funding ways of businessmen, and looks like a real obstacle. How they will go, what they will do. Then you ask us again, generally speaking, to go and ask businessmen to come over, take the party, and money is always power, and money talks. And when it comes into politics, then you really don't differentiate between it's the money or it's the political formula and where we go. At the same time, it's for the first time in Egypt history that we see 5,000 members for a new political party. When you come out of 1,000 to 5,000, looks for me like very strange. If you want really, when we ask them the questions, they come usually and say, yeah, we don't want many parties, we don't want 300 new parties. I don't understand why. Because actually, the real democratic process requires that you have as many parties as you can. And then there is a normal maturity, there is a normal screening done by the street, done by the people, done by the institution, and then you will have the powerful ones remain, and then the others will disappear.
But Professor, the chairman of the committee said that right after the amendments, we're going to have parliamentary elections,
Yeah.
which requires that we have parties.
Yeah.
You said that for a democracy, we need as many parties as possible.
Yeah.
And we've seen, for example, some of the groups, some of them religious, some other groups, former, for example, parties, former members of parties, they are now forming specific parties. And are we capable of forming real parties before these coming parliamentary elections? Do we have enough time? Do people on the street have enough time to get to know these parties? And are there really parties, or is it just an image of having parties, but at the end of the day we're going to end up with the same National Democratic Party of the former president, or the Muslim Brotherhood, again away from religion, forming a party and massing the people?
Actually, the right answer is a big answer, is a big no, you know. We are not ready. Sure, we cannot do it in 3 months. It's nearly impossible, because if you look to the real situation, to the grassroots, the grounds where we go and where we come from, how really you can start to establish a party today. Yes, elections in September, but you need first at least 1 month for the approval. So you have 1 month lost. So if you start after these 1 month, you actually have not more than 4 months remain, which is impossible in any democratic process, that you are able really to build, you know, your new party and your the people to know you, and to know really your program and everything, and then, you know, the point is also how you think that you are able to compete with those existing parties, what you mentioned, at the same time where they have already dominated the stage for a very long time.
They're established.
Yeah, the problem is, again, we come to the same thing. The Muslim Brotherhood, they have, of course, the right number. They have no problem of organization. At the same time, they have their own funds. Okay, they have the right to share. You know, we, of course, when we want to come with a new democratic process, we think that, sure, the Muslim Brotherhood is a part of the formula. So it's not a problem, but it needs to be done on fair basis. Actually, the main problem we have is that now the National Democratic Party is reforming under many new names. And again, the two conditions, money and numbers. When you have a process which built for 30 years, where people know that you buy their voices, you know, we have a big problem when we go to the people in the ground and tell them that you come and share, you know, in the political life, you have to be active, we have to fight corruption, we have to work against so and so.
The public still have an image about the money,
yeah,
in relation to their vote?
Yeah, there's some sort of mechanism which has been done and used for the last 30 years. And this means in some areas, we cannot forget that we have 40% of the Egyptian people living with nearly $1 per day. And you come and talk with me about active political participation, where people is paying them money, monthly salaries. They collect their, you know, IDs, there is a process. And then when you come again and bring the same formula in the stage, what I'm afraid of, that we are going to what I call it a directed democracy, which is some sort of a democracy which is much more dangerous than even dictatorship. You see, when you have a dictatorship, you know that it's a dictatorship. You know that you want to fight it. You know that you want to remove it. When you ask everyone at the time of Mubarak, are you happy? Do you think that this is the right Egypt? Most of the Egyptian people say no. They're not happy, but they don't know what to do. And this was really a model of dictatorship.
But they put it on one figure.
Yeah.
President Mubarak and whoever is surrounding him.
Yes.
But now it is the vote of the people who brought these people into the democracy.
This is what I'm saying. When you are going into this directed democracy, then fighting this type of democracy,
it's impossible because we brought them.
Yes.
We can't say anything about
it. You were talking right now about having as much as we can of the political parties. Tell me, because there is an issue here. We have many different opinions that say that not to have as many as we can, but to have some effective political parties.
Yes.
Compared to which country? How far can we take benefit? If we have 300 political parties, for example, how can we take benefit of this? And where else can we compare ourselves to have all these huge number of political parties?
Yeah, let me say something. First of all, the Egyptian revolution itself comes with a new lesson of democracy. Everyone is talking about this. Everywhere, in all the world. You see, we always expect that something will happen and that Egypt is not stable, but we never imagine that this will be the mechanism. When you see the people going to Al-Tahrir Square, and then they came out with many different opinions. Everyone wants something, you know. They agree on having Omar Suleiman as a vice president, then they talk, no, it's enough, let Mubarak complete the 6 months, and we have a very, especially when the government start to have their own tools. You know, it was some sort of a negotiation table. The government on one side and the people on the other side. And at this time we see how the people then differ.
So if you're talking about individuals who have different opinions, what about political parties?
Yes, this is what I'm saying.
Each political party will have a complete different opinion. I think this is a big issue to be discussed.
This is how we make democracy.
Unfortunately, time is running up, so unfortunately we have to conclude our program right now. Maybe we can discuss it later on, because I believe we will need half an hour to talk about
sure,
this.
because this is a real problem. Yeah.
So Professor Hossam ElShazly, Professor of Strategic Marketing and Changing Management, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Now with this we come to the end of our breakfast show for today. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Radwa.
Thank you, Nashwa. Have a very good one.